right, hey guys, and welcome back to Brutal Honesty with the girl KayReenea. And if you're watching on YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I am Kay the Bookworm, and in today's Arthur Spotlight, I have my first recurring guest, so I'm very happy about that. If you guys seen it back in December, you know who I am talking about. I have author Tay Mo'Nae here. How are you doing?
Hey y'all, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, cannot complain. It is
That's
spring.
good.
It is April. My birthday is in a couple of days now, so
Yes, yes. The weather's finally breaking here, so I'm like happy about that. So I feel it.
super excited. So guys, today we are going to talk about a few of her books, but before we get into her latest one, we are going to talk about some old school ones. So last time we talked, I was just getting into Serenity and Jack's A Houston Hotel, as well as soon as I got done with this, I had to read a Houston Love Ain't Never Been Good with Young and Parker. Let me just say,
Oh, Young.
yes, let me just say, before we get into Young, Serenity.
You say you what,
No,
Serenity?
I say before we get into Young, let's talk about Serenity. Why do you make her so naive in this book?
Let me remember back to that book. Honestly, let me see. That was like my like fifth book. So I was still kind of like learning my writing and everything back
Mhm.
then. So I don't know, like I knew I wanted her to like kind of, well, for one, she had to be naive because of the whole how the plot played out. Like it wouldn't have made sense if she was like, really headstrong or whatever. And for two, I don't know, I feel like that was something that really does happen in the music industry, like I feel like a lot of females are dominated by the male, perspective. And when it comes to sex, they're manipulated,
Mhm.
a lot. And like we see scandals about it like all the time,
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a realistic type plot or whatever, and so I just ran with it.
But my thing is, if you guys don't know the book, it is about a girl named Serenity who basically has like kind of the deal of her life, but she gets kind of, you could say, tricked into having sex with her manager slash boyfriend slash nigga who wasn't really shit. And the only way to actually live her dreams is to continue to basically be in this toxic ass relationship and all these dreams. But she gets
Very
tangled up when
toxic.
she meets her bodyguard named Jackson, who is a very sweet guy, who basically kind of saves her throughout the situation. I basically was tugging with this because reading it, you would have thought that she would have told somebody, but you don't really see the fact that she doesn't tell anybody until that tape comes out. Because at least
Right,
I
yeah.
would have told her manager slash best friend about the situation. She didn't tell anybody. Is that because you
Anybody.
wanted to make it seem that she was very like she didn't want like people to be judgmental, or you just thought she was gonna be scared about what people would think?
Honestly, it was more so like that's an embarrassing situation to be in,
Mhm.
like you're being blackmailed when it comes to sex. You're in the public eye now, so it's like if that were to get out or whatever, well, for one, like you said, like it's a very naive move to even make in the first place. So if it would have got out, like even with her telling her truth, like that's just embarrassing to even admit to anyone or whatever. So it's more so that like it was just like she did something stupid to get where she's at, and now she's accomplishing her dreams, but she's stuck in like a deadbolt right now. So it's kind of more so embarrassment and kind of not really knowing how to get out of it, more so than like anything else.
Gotcha. All right, let's go on to Mr. Crazy Ass Young. So this one is a continuation of this one. This one kind of focuses on Serenity's best friend Parker, who is one of the hottest dancers in the R&B world, in that world. And she kind of gets hooked on the rapper Young. Young reminds me of a Future, but with one baby mama instead of multiple. Um,
Oh, I can see future vibes.
I see Future vibes in this.
He was definitely a narcissist. I could
Yes,
definitely.
very. Yes, so basically Parker kind of traps Young down to where at first they're just having fun, having sex, blah blah blah. And then when Parker thinks she's not having actual emotions towards Young, that kind of comes kind of full circle because she actually does, as well as Young. But at the same time, Young has to deal with a crazy baby mama, and Parker's not really dealing with it until she winds up pregnant herself. As well as it also tells the story of Serenity's, what is it? Yeah, Maya, Serenity's manager slash, I think was cousin, I believe.
Yeah.
That cousin, and her crazy ass antics with her father's child Troy.
I hated Troy. I should have killed Troy.
That occurred to it. Before we get into Parker and Young, I was shocked that you did not put them back together, Maya and Troy. I honestly thought
I didn't like Troy.
I honestly thought they were going to be together by the end of the book.
Yeah, I didn't like Troy. My original plot was to kill Troy.
Really?
But yeah, I didn't like Troy. Like, my publisher at the time, because it was a re-release, my publisher at the time was like, Taylor, no, like, no, don't do it. But I didn't like Troy, so I was like, no. Like, I felt like the way he played her out and everything, like, no, he didn't deserve her, so she moved on. Like, no. And so instead of killing him, I just let him lose her. Like, of course, I let her have her happy ending or whatever. But no, I didn't feel like he deserved a happy ending. So it was either he dies or it played out how it did.
Because when she started dating the basketball player, and he was like, he was very understanding and very cool with blah blah. Once they actually become like a couple, and Troy saw how he was interacting with his daughter, I kind of thought Troy was going to be like, all right, let me get on my romance shit and try to work it out. But when you said, no, Maya went with the basketball player and Troy went his separate ways, I was like, damn, like, you don't even get like a chance. And then his mom was mad at him too because of the situation that he did with her. And it was just like, geez, Troy.
That was my very first book, not putting a couple back together. Because I originally wanted to do it with the previous book, but again, I let people get in my head, so I didn't. So I was like, no, like, Troy don't deserve Maya. Like, Maya, she's on her shit. Like, she got her shit together. And, I get, he was going through some stuff or whatever, but it's like the way he handled her was completely no. So I was like, she deserves better, so I'm going to give her better. So
I felt like Troy put her on like a pedestal, basically saying that you're mine and nobody's going to touch you until I say you can let go.
Yeah.
And she said, forget you, and she laughed.
Definitely.
I feel like now, if they did like an updated version, I feel personally that Troy's probably, like, years later, I feel like Troy would probably still try to get back with Maya, even though Maya.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though probably like Maya's married, happily married, probably have a whole other child, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 with the basketball player, and he's still trying. That's how I feel. If you did like
definitely. Maya's like that one that that got away, like like you fucked up. So it's like and they have to interact because they have a kid and stuff now. So it's like that, like, she's just the one that got away. Like, he's always gonna wanna be that with her, but nah, I would never. I would, even if I were to like do an updated book or whatever, I would never put them back together.
So let's get into Young. Why did you make his baby mama so crazy?
Because once again, I was new, and that's what was in. That's what I felt like books had to have in order to have that wow factor or whatever back then, or like that urban factor. And again, like, if you see like Shade Room and stuff, that's how these baby mamas act though. Like, a lot of rappers who have multiple baby moms or who are in relationships, they go through this a lot. So it's just like, that's what happens,
So was she upset that he moved on, or was she more upset that he was trying to do better, and I guess she just kind of held that tried to like hold on him because they had a child together?
It was more so that she was so his lifestyle, basically, she wanted to hold on to more than anything. Like, she was with him when he first got, up, when his lifestyle first started taking off, and she got to reap the benefits of it. So once, like, he kind of started venturing out to other things or whatever, she just couldn't really let it go.
So basically, she was there for the money, not actually him. But once he started messing with Parker, that's when like the feelings came back. Like,
that's when the jealousy came.
Since the beginning, and blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Got it. I kind of thought that, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I remember correctly, like she would pop up on him and like clubs and stuff and like act wild. But like when Parker really when she seen that Parker was like a constant person, like it was just like, oh shit, like someone's, coming into my territory type thing.
Well,
So
she would do anything every time he came over to check on the daughter. She would try to have sex with him, suck his dick, all that stuff. To the point where just like Parker basically was like, listen, it's gonna be me or you.
period.
Then
As she
I felt
should.
bad for Parker because not only did she have to deal with baby mama, she also had to deal with the new what can I say? The new rapper.
Oh,
There's
DC.
a lot of female rappers like that. Like I was trying to find what I can.
Oh no, you're talking about what was her name?
I can't remember her name. Let me see if I can find it.
I can't think of her name either. But yeah, her. Yeah.
That's her. Yeah. Coco.
Coco, yeah, her.
Yep, Coco. So she was an upcoming rapper too, and I guess because she heard all the rumors about Young being this playboy, when really she only wanted the dick, and he tried to be faithful to Parker, and that scene was hilarious when Parker beat her ass. I thought that was really funny, but she deserved it.
Yeah, we wasn't about to let that play out.
And just saying she deserved that ass whipping. But and even her, I think it was like her manager, I think her sister or somebody was like, bruh, he's moved like he's not the same person that he was. Why are you consistently trying to be
right?
Like bring out this old person when he just wants to be happy?
Right. And with Coco, it was more so like she seen him as a come up. Like if I get him on my side, we do his music's hitting. I'm trying to come up. It was like an instant thing. Like if people think we whatever, that's gonna make me look better. That's gonna bring me fans, whatever. So she had alternate motives too. But yeah, it was mainly because she wanted the dick.
That's what I kind of figured. I was just like, this bitch. All right, so let's get into your recent, which was Can't Help But Love You. This book, if you read my review, because I know you saw it because you commented, which is this, guys, Can't Help But Love You. By the way, I love the cover. The cover is super, super gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that cover. It's one of my favorites.
This tells the story of a second chance romance, I should say, yes. Second chance romance with a
it's like 5 different tropes in this romance.
hidden child. You could say it has a forbidden love because of the main character. One of the main characters.
A little bit of sports.
Yep, sports is in it too. Sports romance. So this tells the true story of Gage and Aisha, who basically been together since they were in high school. Gage is a little bit older than Aisha because Gage is Aisha's older brother.
It's Asia.
Asia, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Asia and Gage were together, but Gage is older than Asia because he is Asia's oldest brother, best friend. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
And they've been messing around. Granted, they broke up. And ever since they broke up, he's been doing his own thing with basketball. She's been doing her own thing with her printing. But come to find out, she hid a secret from Gage for a very long time. And that scene that she wrote was perfect.
When he finds out?
Yes, I feel like he should have did some more damage to the house. I know that's just basically me. Maybe like smash a face or a plate or something. If I could be real, I didn't feel bad for her because she lied to everybody.
Yeah, she did. I think that was everyone's biggest thing. Like, it wasn't even the fact that she just hid it from him. Like, she hid it from everyone outside of her best friend. Like, everyone. So it's just like, fuck. Like,
you can see
you really gonna carry it.
Yeah, and you can see the dynamic. I love how you put Asia and her brother together as like more so like not only brother and sister but best friends. So the fact that I don't like, even though he was upset about finding out that they were messing around while they were in high school, blah blah, I really think he was more hurt about like
definitely
kind of being an uncle / kind of quote unquote say dad to your daughter, and I'm supposed to be your best friend, and you didn't have the audacity to tell me that your daughter, my niece, is my best friend's daughter. Definitely. I think he was more so hurt, like, why didn't you tell me? Like, if you wanted to keep it a secret, we could have kept it a secret. I wanted to tell them. But the fact that you didn't tell me at all, I can't fuck with you like that. So I think he was more hurt about that. When it came to Gage, he was a lost cause at sometimes.
Yeah, Gage definitely was very different from normal heroes that I write. He
Um,
definitely was a different male character for
I
me.
think for me, it was his battle with the pain pills.
Hmm.
Because if you look a lot in like sports world, especially, a lot of people do go through that, but they try to hide it, and that's what Gage was trying to do. Especially besides his mom and dad, when he had the overdose, he was in the hospital. And he's like, "I'm better, I'm fine, I'm fine." But when he found out that that he had a daughter and she didn't tell him, and the fact that you had the scene with before Asia came to the house, and the scene that you had was like him sitting down, and all he saw was like kind of how you like zoom, like kind of like zoned in into like the bottle.
Oh
It
yeah,
was like kind of like a constant thing. I thought that scene was amazing. I just want to say
thank
that
you.
because
Mm.
in my mind it made it seem like I was watching a movie, like him kind of battling with himself, but at the same time it's like I'm here, here's my like I've been helping you out through all your stuff. You just want to be numb. Here I am, blah 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 blah.
Right.
So my question to you is, what inspired Gage?
Um, what inspired Gage? Honestly, I had this story written, like outlined, like a year ago. I just didn't know when I was gonna put it out. I knew I wanted to write. I wanted to start writing because normally it's my heroines or whatever that are more so damaged. I got stuff going on, and I wanted to write about more like male characters that were kind of like messed up. So originally, Gage was just supposed to be like the guy who didn't want to settle down. He just was just like living the fast life. He was a basketball player, whatever, whatever. The pills and everything that came with that didn't come until I actually sat back down and knew I was going to write this story this year. Excuse me. um, so that kind of like came out of nowhere, like as I was kind of outlining it more in depth or whatever, trying to like, developing his character. I was like, I want there to be more to him. Like, I feel like he needs more. And I was kind of like thinking, like, what exactly can I have him going on, that can tie into everything. And I don't know, the pills just made sense. So I was like, injury, pills, rehab. Okay, it all works. So and that's just how it came.
Thought that was really dope because, like I said, like a lot of people, especially a lot of sports people, like they go through injuries and like they trying to get better. And then you got a team who basically like we're with you, but at the same time, you're not as good as you were when we signed you. So he was dealing with that and trying to get moved. And at the same time, he didn't want to get moved because he wanted to stay there, but they cut his contract, like I think like half of half of
Yeah,
what it was when he got started. So trying to go back home, memorize that. You're trying to get back to your love of your life. And then your love of your life just boom, kind of throws that whole thing on there. It's like,
yeah.
what
Gage had a
what am
lot
I supposed
going
to do?
on. And then like on top of everything, like he had a really bad temper. Like he was always kind of like popping off with stuff before he like could think about it. So that was like another factor that played into his contract, into him signing to you got a lot going on, Playboy.
Sheesh. I was like, does he go to therapy? I was like, is therapy an option for this man? Because it's like every scene, it's like every chapter that she wrote with him, it was an issue.
Yep.
Issue. And even when his mom was trying to like be like, okay, mom, like you have a grandchild. I understand the mom's hurt because like I said, Asia, like Asia sees the mom all the time. So the fact that she never knew was kind of like hurting to her too. But when Gage, like her mom was like, listen, you just need to like, try to. I know you're upset, but just try to work it out. Everything get better.
Yeah.
And fuck that, blah blah blah. I was like, dude.
Yeah, Gage had a lot. Like he had a real big. He was very ecocentric. Yeah, if I could say the word ecocentric. And so when he got injured, and then you know, ACL is like one of the biggest
Yes,
injuries
you.
in the sports world.
It's a slight possibility you can come back or you
Yeah,
can't
or
come
you
back.
can't exactly. So it's like when he got that, and they were like about to do like playoffs were there, like he knew he was gonna take his team to the championship that year, and then he gets injured with the injury that could literally end his
Mhm.
career. It's like that was an ego, hit to him, and then like once he started coping with it, you know, using alternate ways or whatever, it's just like everything was kind of like a domino effect from there. Everything just kind of hit. And being that, I think there's even a scene where I mentioned where he like tells Asia, like, you know, nobody, all the girls that I was messing with, like none of them reached out to me.
Yeah.
You know, when I was down, and you know, she's like, I didn't either. And he was like, but you were there before. Like, I didn't expect you to because I know how, you know, we were, whatever. And it kind of like just showed him like kind of getting humbled by the whole situation, you know, like here I was doing this, that, and the third, and it's like, but where am I at now, you know?
I
So
think
Gage, yeah, he definitely. Whew.
I got one more scene. They're gonna go ahead and go to Asia. I think the scene where Bailey has the allergic reaction.
Oh yeah,
I think that's when he actually like sobered up and actually was like,
definitely,
I need to get on my shit because I almost lost my daughter for something careless.
definitely that scene, and then the thunder,
The thunder scene.
thunderstorm scene.
Yeah.
That so like the thunderstorm scene was like his turning point where like he really, it kind of like hit him really that he was like a dad, you know,
Mhm.
like because you know the whole book she's calling him Mr. Gage, whatever. But like when she actually called him
Called
dad
him
because
daddy.
she actually seen he actually seen that like she needed him. That was kind of like his turning point. And then like the reaction scene was definitely like his breaking point where he was just like, I can't, like I have to get my shit together. So yeah, those two scenes were definitely the biggest turning points in the book.
But I think whenever you lose, like when you're close to losing a daughter for something so careless, I think that makes up anybody, man or woman.
Definitely. And it was, you know, it was something careless. And you know, some readers didn't agree with Asia being so hard on him about it, you know, but it was like he wasn't paying attention. Like that was something that literally like should never have even been in the, you know, facility or been
Yeah,
in the area while she was there, because you know, like, and he was so focused on
trying to get his
just,
contract together.
yeah, off of stuff he created that he just
Mhm.
like wasn't paying attention. So it's like I felt like Asia's reaction to it could have been worse, honestly. Like I low-key felt like I made it simple. I felt like it should have been worse, but some readers felt like she was too hard on him.
No, I don't think she was hard. I think that's just a natural reaction. Like you almost like you knew that my daughter was allergic to strawberries. You especially if you already knew that strawberries was in the bowl, and you were like, "Oh yeah, go ahead," and then she almost died because of your carelessness. If you being honest, and if he had really no right, she could have said, "You know what? Forget this. You're not seeing my shell ever again."
Definitely,
If
because I
she
would have
wanted
turned
to
up
take
that
it,
hospital.
if you wanted to take it there. So Asia's response or Asia's reaction was not like bad or anything at all because he knew.
Definitely.
He definitely knew. So let's go into Miss Asia. Miss
Yeah.
A and B graphics. I love that you made her very independent. I love that you made her, besides the flaw that she had, I love that she made her very independent. I love that she had the support system for sure. The only thing I could say besides the flaw that I did not like about Asia was that she could have told Gage how she really felt more in depth. The last time she was at the last time, basically when they created Bailey, she could have told him, especially when since she was 18. And granted, yeah, you're talking about, you know, being in the league and all these blah blah blah. But I'm here. I've been with you before you got to college. I've been with you before before you even got, drafted, about to get drafted. I feel as if she should have voiced her opinion in his life more.
Right.
And two, regardless of the situation, regardless if he was a big time athlete or not, she should, like, in my opinion, she still should have told Gage earlier than what she did.
About the baby?
Yes. That's my only two things besides like the big thing. I feel like she should have vocalized her, her stance and where they stood. Because in my opinion, that should have been the talk where they would have been like, all right, cool, I'm 18 now. What are we doing? Are we together or not? Because like she said when we had that talk, you were so busy focusing on, the women and you getting into the league and this blah blah blah. I basically just kind of just fell off because you didn't care about me. you say you claimed you did, but you didn't care about me this much, so I left. And I didn't like that talk was gone for like 5-6 years.
Right.
So in my personal opinion, she didn't have that closure that I think that she needed to have with him. So that's why when he came back and trying to like, ease his way back into her life, it was just like the flashbacks of everything that's happening to where she kind of put her stance up to where she definitely had to tell him, all right, yes, this is your child, to the point where she actually had to break down and like try to talk to him. That's just my personal opinion.
Right. With that, I think it was more so they grew up, they grew up together. So Asia knew, what type of dude Gage was. Like, she knew she was like, even taking her brother out the situation, he wasn't the dude to deal with. Like, and he even admitted a couple of times, like, he didn't want to settle down. Like, even when he got in the league, like, the only thing he was worried about was fucking bitches and spending money partying. So it was more so, it's not like the conversation was never there, like he didn't know, but it was just more so like, why keep on repeating the same thing, or why even bring it up when I know it's not going to get no result, Because like, even when he's talking to his dad and he's like, if I would have found out, when he says if he would have found out about Bailey then, like, he can't even promise he would have stepped up back then, Like, so it was more so like she knew the type of guy she was in, and they hadn't seen each other, I think it was like 3 years when they last seen each other before she turned 18, because once he went to college they didn't deal with each other until she turned 18. So it was like 2 or 3 years even then. So it's just like she knew that wasn't a situation she needed to be into, but that was her first love, so she kept on going back, whatever. So it's kind of more so why she didn't take that step to have that conversation. But I definitely do agree, like, she should have been more vocal with him back then instead of waiting until she got older. I definitely do agree with that.
Yeah, I feel as if too, when it came to the child, I also feel like even if he didn't step in, when you, especially since like you said, they've been close, like the mom and the mom are super close, blah blah blah. She still should have told him, because
Definitely.
the scene when she goes back into the house after everything had calmed down, and her mom and Gage's mom are in the kitchen, and she basically finally has that talk. She can't get upset of both of them going in at her at the same time, because she deserved it.
She did, and like, she even lied, like the fact that she went as far as to like
having a one night stand, saying that
like covering it up.
Stand, and I don't know who the dad is.
Yeah, Asia was definitely flawed. Like, I didn't want her to be like super flawed, but like that she did definitely have some flaws. Like, a lot of people understood why Gage like took that hiatus when he first found out, and then some people was like, no, he should have stepped up. But me personally, like, I feel like Asia was like, in the beginning, everything with Asia was like wrong. Like, even from the minute he came back into town, like, she wasn't trying to tell him. It's just like,
defensive.
yeah, she definitely hadn't carried the situation wrong. But like, I don't know. At the same time, I feel like if I was on the outside looking in, I can understand where she was coming from, because it's like, like I said, he was someone she knew that couldn't give her what she needed, and like, when you bring a child into all that, it's like, now you're not just playing with my emotions and my feelings, it's my child too. It's like, I get it, if the situation was the outside looking in, like if I didn't write it and it was like a real life situation, like, I get it, but she was definitely selfish so with it too. Like he told her, like, it wasn't just all me, like, you were being selfish and you were bitter about everything, and like, yeah.
Two flawed characters that basically found love at the end of the book.
Definitely.
Let's get in, before we get into your new book, let's get into the brother and her best friend. And I know you said that you might not get a spinoff for them, but I'm gonna ask
Tay and Brenna,
because it's me. Are we getting a spinoff? Because the way you said that, the way you ended it was just like, I want more. But then like go their separate ways, and like, they got caught having sex by Asia. She's upset. Granted, she's upset more so the fact that she didn't tell them. It's not more the stuff that you're messing with my brother, your brother messing with my best friend.
Yeah, hers is more of a, she was hurt more than anything.
Yeah, she's like, why didn't you tell me? More than like, I can't believe you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, definitely. It's not completely out the question. If I were to do a book with them, like, I know the direction I want them to go. Not promising they'll even end up together if I do a book with them, but
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm just saying. But I mean, it's not out the question completely. But Tay has a lot of stuff going on in the background in his life, and Brenna ain't for it. So
I feel like Brenna is the type of person, a very straightforward person, and Tay is just like a let's see where it goes, let's see where it takes us, let's coast the lines
definitely.
real quick and see.
And
So
he got a lot going on.
Because I'm like Brenna, I'm a very listen. What are we doing? Are we together or not? Are we taking things? What's the direction between us? I'm not with the coasting type stuff. Because the way you made it seem to where just like that was it. I'm like, what? No, I want more.
Yeah, no. If I were to do their story, I would definitely, of course, go back to where everything ended and go from there. But Tay has a lot of background stuff going on that I didn't show for obvious reasons in case I do a book on them. And Brenna, she's trying to get her event stuff off the ground. She's very independent too. She's very, let casual, have fun and everything. And she just wasn't for the shit that everything Tay had going on. Like, she just didn't have time for all that. So it's like, let's cut our losses now and just. So yeah, there's a possibility they can get a book, but there's no guarantee they'll end up together.
Well, regardless of the situation, I will be reading that book, so I don't care. So stroking the flame with her heart. I just want to say this cover is breathtaking.
So thank you.
I love I'm not gonna give my, just sign. All I gotta say is sign it to her mailing list to get more information. I'm not gonna really say it, like exactly what the book is about because it comes out this month. But I just want to say that I feel like I'm going to like Travis a lot more than I am with Amaya.
Oh, definitely. Travis is such a sweetheart. Like, he's so he's very in touch. Like, he's not one of those guys who feel like he has to hide his emotions. Like, he's very in touch with his emotions, but he's very masculine at the same time. Like, he's not afraid to show how he feels about a situation, but at the same time, he'll take charge and put his foot down when he has to. So he's definitely I love him.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna like Travis a lot more. I do like the candle maker and the musician. I like that a lot. I like that little dynamic. I feel like this book is going to be an enemies to lovers story.
Kind of, yeah, kind of.
Because the chapter
Mike hates him.
Because of the chapter that you gave us, I think that was the beginning of the book where spoiler alert, he's at his shop and then Amaya comes in, basically confronts him and starts yelling at him, blah blah blah. And then the one that you just recently gave us when he's trying to talk to her and hey, I understand, you look too beautiful to be having that pain on your heart. I don't know what's going on, but I just want to tell you, you're too beautiful. What you doing? And she thinks about it and she's like, wait. And then I was like, okay,
wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can categorize it in enemies to lovers. She's dealing with a really bad breakup from her high school sweetheart. So she's very bitter about that. And Travis Travis has his own things going on, but he's not really letting it affect him in the way that Amaya is. He's dealt with that or whatever. And he's just, he's in Maple Hills trying to get a new start. He's I'm starting over, new people, new energy, and he's making the best of it, So he definitely has his work cut out though, because Amaya does not make it easy at all.
It's always sometimes when and this is one thing I like about you is that you don't stereotypicalize, if that's a word. It's not, make one today. I like how you don't stereotype your characters. Every book you read is this one had the female has the problems and then you have the guy that saves the day. Yours is always a mixture because you really don't know what you're getting with a Tay Mo'Nae book, and I think that's why you're one of my favorites, because when you read one book, you got one that has like when, for example, if I do Love Becomes a Need, if that's the one I'm on.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes. You have Ahmad who is trying to get to where Fatima's at, but he still has the pain of his ex.
Yeah.
And then you got this recent one where you got Travis, who's been where Amaya is, got the closure that he needed to move on. But then you got Amaya. Don't know what the reason is. I don't know.
Right.
But the way you describe her to where she's been hurt is basically like she's a woman scorned from another man's heart. You could tell that whatever the ex did really, really fucked her up bad. To where she's like,
Definitely.
fuck love, I don't want to do this anymore.
Definitely.
So each book you read with a Tay Mo'Nae book is definitely different. Some are going to piss you off. Some it's just not that because you got one that pisses you off. If you listen to if you watched the recent one we did back in December, and then there was you. Braden really pissed me off, and then you also got his love interest that pissed me off too. Some points, but I'm like, sis, what are you doing?
Yeah,
both of them had pissed me off.
I like to switch it up. Like I said, this year I'm really focusing more so on like my guys, because I feel like broken guys or like guys dealing with like mental health and stuff isn't really highlighted in the Black books, Black community. I feel like it's always the girls needed saving, the girls who are traumatized, the girls who are, bitter, whatever. And I'm like, I feel like guys go through that stuff too, Like, it's not always the girl who needs emotionally saved or physically saved, whatever. Like, it's guys too. So that's kind of my focus more so this year. Like, my girls are still going to have their stuff going on. But that's kind of like where my books this year, besides this one. But yeah, this year will kind of take place. It's more so like I want to focus on like the men and like just kind of showing like not every guy that we write about is an instant book bay or alpha or whatever. Like they have flaws. They have to go through their shit too. They're not all cheaters, because I feel like a lot of them are made out to be cheaters and then suddenly they're like perfect, whatever. But they have their shit too, So definitely kind of want to switch it up this year.
Yeah, that's how it is with me. My first book is more so like the guy is like he has his own insecurities because it's a high school book, so he has his own insecurities trying to live his own life. But then when you have an older brother who is basically an NFL sensation, and you're good in football as well, and you think, and a lot of people think that he is going to go follow the direction of his brother, when in reality he doesn't want to do that. And then you got my female character who kind of has trauma of her, her own family dynamic and trying to kind of like get over that situation. So that's how I kind of got it for that one. So basically, Michelle is more so like the hurt one. But in my recent book that I'm writing now, I have two different couples. But it's like the first couple is the girl that's going to be traumatized, and then the second couple is going to be the guy that's kind of traumatized.
Yeah.
So that's
switching up is always good, and it helps you. It helps, like my last book, and then there was you actually, and then there was you. 7. She had her own. She wasn't traumatized with them, but like she kind of was like the damsel in distress. Nazir was kind of like I don't really want to call him a knight in shining armor because that guy had his own stuff going on. But he was kind of like the savior. And then with Linnea and Bryson, they both were like fucked up. It's like, ugh. And then with Jaheim and Deja, I think of her name.
Yes, Deja, yeah.
She needed saved, but she didn't want to be saved. Like, she didn't allow him to be saved.
Yes.
So, like, he had it together, but she wanted to get out the mud on her own. So, I felt like with that book, it was everything going on.
Yeah.
Where Can't Help But Love You, I feel like, it was Gage. Even though Asia still needed to be healed because obviously she was still carrying the hurt from their past. It was more so Gage. Well, it wasn't more so. It was Gage who needed, everything, to be healed. Like, she needed to basically accept his truth. Like, he wouldn't, until he accepted, like, I'm an addict, I have this going on, I have that going on. He was never going to be able to move on, And then with my most current book, Maya's she's just bitter. she's just bitter. Like she just needs to let go of that hurt. Like and
But that's
once she's
hard.
able.
It's hard when you said high school sweetheart. That's hard.
Yeah, they were together. I think I had it for like it was like 10+ years.
That's
Like
even
they were together for a
harder.
long. Yeah, they
Especially
were together for a long ass
especially if he didn't
time.
fuck shit. That's
Yeah.
hard. 'Cause I was with my high school sweetheart for I think about we broke up 2011, 2012, and we were together since like '09. We weren't together as long as we like with Amaya and her ex, but me and him, we've been through a lot. So when he broke up with me, I was hurt.
Yeah,
It takes a
yeah.
minute to get over your
Same
high
girl,
school. Like
been there.
it doesn't matter how like the age range, but you said 10+ years. That's long.
Yeah, they were together for a long time. So it's like she definitely was carrying a lot. And their town's only so big, so it's like everything was kind of in her face. Like she really didn't have anywhere to actually heal from it. So
That's a long.
she
That's a
definitely
long.
excuse me. She definitely does not come off easy at first.
Mhm.
She's definitely stubborn. Probably one of my most stubborn characters. Maybe, maybe one of my most stubborn characters I've written about, female. But Travis, he's such a sweetheart. Like he's really, like he's an what is it, empath. So
Mhm.
he's very in tune, like with surrounding energies and people around him. So like when you see him and Amaya interact, you're gonna like, I feel like everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, like this is everything.
So before
And
you
you
like,
see, huh?
no, go ahead.
And I was gonna see, and you guys are gonna see like Amara and everything, like
Oh,
get a little update on them. So
okay. I'm here for it. Yes, yes, yes. So before I let you go, last time we talked, you was doing your fiction Fridays. You said you stopped that fiction Friday because you was gonna say you was gonna create that into a book.
yeah, it has
Are
to be
you
a
still
book.
doing that?
Yes, that has to be a book.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out sometimes in the next couple of months. Because it's kind of probably fall, early fall, I think, like late summer, early fall, because I have like this whole project I'm doing for the summer.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just a lot. Where I wanted to take the story, like Fiction Friday, was not going to be able to take it there. So
Gotcha. So the current one that you have now, all the things left unsaid. I know you can't tell me, but what the hell did he do to her? Because oh my god,
she hates him.
it's something. I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. It had to be something very embarrassing that like maybe like a sex tape or a picture got thrown around the school because when she's because like the recent one that she said if you guys did not if you're not signed up once again definitely sign up for her mailing list. She does it every Friday. When she talks to her mom and the mom was just like I didn't know like I mean like of course he might be there, he might not. His parents own half of the house, so he's going to be there. When she said that I could not show my face my senior year, and my senior year was hell. And when he's trying to talk to her about it, and she gets so defensive, so she was like, "I hate you. If we don't have to see each other the entire time I'm here, I'm cool with it. Walk off." I'm thinking either a sex tape got leaked, a nude picture of her got leaked, or he was messing around with her arch enemy or something. Because it's something in the water to make her still hold that grudge for those plus years. Something had to happen to her. Just like, what did he do for
Fuck
him? For
nigga
him,
shit.
for him to be like, I did it. I want to man up. I want to apologize to you. Even the mom was like, I think you should have that conversation with him. Blah blah blah. To her being like, no, fuck this shit. I'm done. You're lucky I ain't leave when you told me. Lucky I ain't leave the first night I saw him. So it had to be something very dramatic to be like she cannot stand to be in the same house. Granted, even though they're on the opposite sides of the house, she does not like the fact that she is in his space.
Yeah, what's his name, Dylan? He definitely did some fuck shit.
So
Let
will
me
we
see.
find out more as the story continues what he did?
Definitely, not the next, has to, not the next point of view. So like either 2 or 3 point of views coming up, you'll see
Okay.
it. It's not the next one, but either that following one or the one after that one, you'll see it.
I was
After
reading it,
I'm gonna time it.
and I was just like, what the hell did he do to her?
Acting like a damn nigga.
I was like, it had to be something because she is just so, hell bent on like not finding love as much. She just focused on her career, focused on just doing what she needs to do. And then when she sees him, I was like all those feelings like come back at first. And then when she thinks about what happened her senior year, all that lovey-dovey stuff turns into like I cannot stand you.
Like I'll
Why
beat
am
your
I?
ass.
Yeah, like why is my heart fluttering when I know I can't stand you? Why am I getting, why am I feeling all this sexual desires for you when I can't stand you because of what you did to me and you don't even apologize for it? When then when you tried to apologize for it, you was like, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you no more.
Yeah, she definitely when it comes out what he actually did.
I feel like I'm not gonna be on his side anymore. I feel like I'm gonna like hit you up through DMs like, girl, what, really?
Yeah, no, you should never be on his side. Never be on the guy's side.
Hey,
No.
no, it's just ugh. I'm excited to read it.
I love back to lover stories, so they're definitely going to go through a little spat, but he'll make up for it, hopefully.
I hope so. I hope so. Because right now I'm on his side. Right now, trying to have that talk. But like you said,
give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, later on, I might have to get back on her side because.
Yeah, no, definitely. He definitely deserves the anger that she has. Definitely.
That kind of calms my nerves now because I was thinking like. I was like, what the fuck did he do? Like, I'm actually like trying to think like, what could you do your senior year that is like so damaging to your mental? Because the fact that it's on her mind still, that's when you know he really did some fuck shit.
High school is your most critical time, man. Everything that happens there happens in high school stays with you. So yeah, he definitely let some people get in his head and did some fuck shit to her, and was trying to be part of the crowd that really wasn't a crowd to be a part of, and so yeah.
Sad. Well, that was all my questions I had for you. So before we get out of here, I just want to know we do have Stroking the Flame Within Her Heart coming out very soon later this month. Do you have any other books besides the ones you talked about already that you have within the next couple of months or within the next year? Or at the end of the year?
Yeah. So you guys are going to see, if you guys read Remember the Time, which I feel like everyone should go read because that's one of my favorite books I've written.
I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about that real quick. So Remember the Time is about a second chance story where I forgot the names of the couples, but the female character, Noelle, she gets amnesia, and her fiance basically kind of wants to sees her when she comes back to their hometown. He realizes that listen, I'm your fiance, this and this and that. But then she realizes, nigga, who are you? Because she doesn't know who she is anymore. And she's in her own town, in a whole different city. She's already engaged, but she wants to come back home. And she sees her best friend, and her best friend kind of remembers, everything that's been going on. Then you have the male main character, who is trying to kind of win back her heart. To me, it reminded me of 50 First Dates.
That's where it came. Like 50 First Dates is one of my favorite movies.
Really?
That's one of my favorite movies. Yes, I love 50 First Dates. Like I could watch that movie all day. So I wanted to do an amnesia book, kind of not based off that, but I thought an amnesia book would be fun,
Yeah.
So I definitely got the idea for the amnesia part from her.
I hated her parents. It was more so the mama than the dad.
Everyone was like, can she get these hands?
I don't know why, but when you have books like that to where it's kind of like a forbidden relationship, it's always the mama that you have the issues with. It's never the dad. It's always the mama.
Her dad was dead. Her dad wasn't even dead.
Yeah, that's right.
Her stepdad.
It was stepdad. So it's always the mom that you have issues with instead of the person. So her reasoning was stupid.
Yep, because her daddy was stupid. So, well, her stepdad,
Her
but she
reasoning was,
happily corrected every time.
yes. It's like even if he did try, she always would shoot him down. In my personal opinion, I love that Travis's mom, oh not Travis's, but the man, I forgot his name, but the man,
Zach.
yeah, Zach, his mom had the pictures.
Oh yeah,
So
describe it.
her memory came exactly back. I love the book. I thought the book was really dope. But you said it was on your Facebook and it was on your Instagram too, that was your most underrated book. Why do you think that is?
I feel like that book I feel like it. I don't want to say bigger than what it did because it did do good, but I feel like there should have. Out of all my books that I've written, I feel like that's one of my best written books, and I don't feel like people realize that. You know, I feel like other people had a hype about other books of mine, which I'm really thankful for. But I feel like Remember the Time was like one that should have gotten more exposure or more like I guess recognition. Like readers, I feel like a lot of readers slept on it. Like they didn't take the time to read it. Because like once I started promoting it again, like I picked up a lot more readers this time around. But I feel like a lot of people kind of like looked over it, and I honestly feel like it's one of my best, written books. Like Zach was like the first, like not sensitive, but like one of the first like guys I've ever written that kind of who wasn't afraid to show his emotions. Like he legit, however he was feeling, like he let that shit show, And Noelle, with everything she was going through, like they had to basically learn to love each other again, like fall in love again. And I just don't feel like people really not comprehended the book, but recognized the book or took, enough attention, gave enough attention to the book.
The scene where he had the studio for her still.
The what? Oh, the studio. Yeah.
That made me cry. It was just like he had that. It was like that. Even though people would tell him, "All right, bro, it's been years. You don't know where she's at. Time to move on." He was like, "Nah, bro. Like I'm going to stay. I know she's out there somewhere. I know." And when he went on the date and he had the studio, and he was like, "I brought it for you. This is like the last thing you talked about before everything happened, and I brought this for you, and I kept it. Nobody had it. I didn't sell it because I knew he was coming back to me." That scene made me cry.
Yeah, that book was. I mean, it was kind of hard. Like some of those scenes kind of like took it out, like that scene, and then like the whole bear scene.
Yeah.
Like when they're in their friend's room.
Do you think that book didn't do as good as you would liked it the first time around because it was different from what you written? So it's kind of like out of your comfort zone for like some people.
Maybe my book. I feel like my books are a lot of hit and miss. Usually like I'll have one that does super, super good, and then like my following books will kind of be like up and down. And I just kind of feel like that when I put that one out, it was during like one of my down periods. So like my loyal readers, read it, and I don't know, like I kind of just don't. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Like it could be because it was a lot different. Like I said, like Zach was. I never had written a guy character like Zach before. Even Noelle, like her situation was something completely different for me too, So it's just like the whole book kind of just like I wanted to tug on emotions too. Like I wanted to like see how I did with like emotions and everything. So it could be because it was something different compared to what I normally write, Who knows?
No, who didn't?
I love the book though.
It was definitely a tearjerker book. Definitely have the tissues on deck because Zach was just very. He was emotional. He was hopeful that she would come back, and the fact that she did, he was going to do whatever
he
it took.
Never let it go.
He would do whatever it took to actually be like, listen, this is what I'm going to do to get you back.
Definitely, it was like they were like really soulmates. Like he literally could not give himself to anyone else who wasn't her. Like they really had like an unbreakable love. Like I love them.
That's what you call a twin flame.
Yes,
you know definitely. that's the person you're going to be with regardless of whatever happens. Like
Definitely.
even if she never came back, you made it seem to where like even if she never did come back to the city, he was going to die lonely, and he was okay with that
Yeah.
because nobody could
Yeah.
love her up to her.
And that's how it was. Like even when he was, he wasn't really dating her, but with Lizzie, like he still could never get himself to even take it there with her, because that was his person. Like that was his end all be all.
Okay, so you got that.
Yeah. So remember the time. So you guys are going to be seeing his twin brother, August.
Okay.
Or Austin. You guys will be seeing Austin soon. His book is coming. Chasing Tori eventually, but I'm not really worried about him right now. But you guys will be seeing Austin soon. You guys will be seeing Davion, the tattoo artist. You guys will be seeing him soon. And then I have a whole big project for the summer that centers around one certain group. I don't want to say too much about it yet, but that's going to be like summer, like me ending the year kind of. Well, no, Zave will probably end the year, but like midsummer-ish. So that's going to take up basically the whole summer, beginning of fall. And I'm really excited about that project because it's definitely different from what I've normally done. And I feel like it's so much I could do with each book and so much I could do with the characters. Like I have it all mapped out, all planned out and everything. So I'm excited for that. So I have about, for sure, like 5 books for the rest of the year. Maybe 4, depending on if I actually put out Zave and Austin for sure. Well, Zave, Austin more than likely is coming out. But yeah, so I have a couple of things coming this year. But I'm really excited about my summer project, and I can't wait to like put that out there and give everybody the details on that. I got the covers and everything, and I'm so excited.
I'm excited for it. Definitely will be reading The Stroking the Flame Within Our Heart for sure. So definitely be on the lookout because on my Instagram page, which is _, if you guys don't follow me, I will be doing another review. Because like I said, I read Can't Help But Love You within a day. Like as soon as I did the review, I just finished the book. So
yeah, that book was easy to write too. Like those characters literally wrote themselves. Like they knew what the hell they wanted to do. So that book was so easy to write.
I'll definitely look out for that. But yeah, so thank you once again for being my first recurring guest.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
If you guys do want to sign up for my mailing list, I will be doing another Fiction Friday story this Friday. And that's where I do like my sneak peeks and everything first. Text author Tay, one word, 233777, or you can go to my website, taylormkirk.com. Sign up either way, but you guys do get first looks at stuff before anybody. And in my group on Facebook, Tay's Book Bays, they get like exclusive stuff first too. So.
And guys, I'm signed up to everything she just said. And when I tell you, before I even was an author, I was a fan. And let me just say, just sign up because you do get everything firsthand. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes. And follow me on Instagram.
Yes, follow me on Instagram at _author Tay Mo'Nae.
Yes.
So
and
definitely
then author Tay Mo'Nae on Twitter.
Yes, I have everything underneath in the description box on my podcast and YouTube. Definitely get her books that I have here, which is When Love Becomes a Need, When Love Becomes a Reason, When Love Becomes a Purpose. So Houston, Love Ain't Never Been So Good, Young and Parker. And then you have Serenity and Jack's A Houston Love Tale. And yes, I did not read this big ass book. I read it on my Kindle, but still long.
Oh yeah, that's book 1 and 2 put together.
Let Me Be Your Motivation, which was my first ever book by Tay Mo'Nae, which will always be my favorite book by Tay Mo'Nae.
That was my first indie book.
I love
my first indie romance.
And Amir, and I love how you put Jordan back in Can't Help But Love You.
Oh yeah,
I love how you did that. And then there was you, and there was you too. Definitely.
Those stressful people.
Amazing. I still think that we should have Jaheim and Deasia spinoff, but you know what?
Oh, speaking of Jaheim, what you guys he will be his book, him and Deasia book isn't completely off the table, but you guys will see like updates about what's going on with him in upcoming books. Like he is named, like talked about. So
that's just so exclusive that we just got.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got exclusive, y'all. I have a point. And also The Sweet Spot, which is the introduction to Maple's Hill. I have not read this book yet, so that's why we didn't talk about it, because I've been like, as soon as I tried to sit down and read this book, I got caught up in reading and trying to write my own damn book, so that's why. But definitely, I will definitely read this book very soon.
Yes. You guys don't have to read The Sweet Spot before you read Struck in the Flame, but some characters do cameo from The Sweet Spot.
Okay, so guys, it's not required, but it is recommended if you want to understand some of the characters within the book.
Yes.
Basically. All right. So guys, once again, definitely thank you, Tay Mo'Nae, for joining me. Thank you guys for listening or watching. We are almost at 4,000 plays.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you, which is half of what I want for the end of the year. My goal is to have 8,000, so you are almost at the tick mark of 4K, and I'm so honored and so thankful. We'll be 2 years next month on the 27th, which is still crazy to me, because when I started this, I didn't think nobody would listen to me, and now I got people from all over the world listening to me. The last listeners that I got was from Brazil and Grenada. It's like some island in the islands area.
That's dope. That's dope.
When I looked at it, I was like, Brazil? Like,
that's how I be when I look at like my books and I see like where people read from and everything and downloaded from. So I definitely get it.
Like, Brazil? Like, I always want to go to Brazil, but and for YouTube, we are at 260 subscribers. I really, really want to get at least 300 before my birthday. My birthday is in 13 days. Can we do it? I hope so. But let's try to focus that way. But I really hope we can. I really, really hope we can. But guys, that is all. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @KTheBookworm_. Follow my author pages, which is Arthur KayReenea, all one word. Buy my first book, which is Close to You. I will be on Amazon, and if you want to buy it through me, DM me on Instagram, Twitter, and we go from there. Also, I will be doing my first ever live discussion in my Facebook group, which is KayReenea Babes, on April the 8th, excuse me, which will be the 2-month anniversary of the book coming out at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll leave all that information in my bios. But until then, guys, have faith, have confidence, love you, always, always be you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.